Once upon a time, there was this app called Winamp. Winamp started in 1997 as a Windows-based audio-video media player alternative to the default Windows Media Player. Winamp quickly became the preferred and most popular digital media platform of its time. A free, standalone app not requiring an internet connection to operate, Winamp was freakishly customizable thanks to its endless assortment of downloadable player skins ranging from frightening to peak Fruitiger-Aero designs, along with savable 10-band EQ options and presets, and an ever-growing assortment of free downloadable video generators that accompanied any audio playing on Winamp. I don't think it's a stretch to say that Winamp's audio visualizer component was its largest draw, and the reason it became the dominant media player during the 2000s. Before streaming, people kept their own large music libraries on their own computers and used other apps like Napster, LimeWire, or any other file-sharing service to share and further populate their own music collections to play on Winamp with said visualizers. But due to technological and industry shifts favoring streaming, Winamp faded into obscurity circa 2010, and took with it all of its satisfying audio-video generators, becoming literally not even a memory, something just forgotten in time. That isn't to say that audio-video generators became obsolete or unseen, but the way in which people interacted with them drastically changed. Streaming was in, and visualizers were phased out through the 2010s, and now they're generally handled by third-party apps separate from Spotify or other streaming platforms. And a lot of said third-party apps exist because of the Winamp Visualizer archive files. You're probably wondering why I seem so fond of this forgotten Winamp, so let me tell you, it's because I'm a 90s kid millennial. I'm actually living in a nursing home. I'm on a thick and liquid and pureed food diet, and I heard that the nurses are talking about putting me on hospice. They said it's time for the big drip. Talking nonstop morphine every hour on the hour. Gimme, 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 gimme. It's like Miller Draft High Life, but it's the morphine high life. Back to the topic, the most desired component of Winamp, the audio visualizer. Why was this the biggest draw for Winamp? Because people like audio visualizers, and Winamp was unique in not only offering it, but offering it with high customizability. Literally 100 years ago, one particular woman also liked audio visualizers, but for all intents and purposes, this technology did not exist. That particular woman was Mary Ellen Bute, the mother of the audio visualizer. Born in 1906 in Houston, Texas, Bute began her life with an interest in painting, and she studied it through college. But she began to feel constricted by the lack of change in paintings. She wanted to be able to work with a medium that changes in qualities of light and form in time. So, Bute changed course and began working in stage lighting. During this time, she was intrigued by a device called the color organ. It's hard for me to describe because I could not find a single example of what a color organ looked like during her time, and apparently they might have existed since the 1700s. From what I understand, they played like a piano, but instead of producing sound, they used different colored glass panes connected to keys, and when played in a space with an ample light source that can be focused through those glass panes, they created a light show of some sorts that could accompany a musical performance. A more modern interpretation of color organs are old disco lighting systems, large boxes that contain multiple different colored bulbs, which are connected to the music source and are wired to make certain bulbs respond to certain parts of songs, creating a unique lighting experience paired with sound. Bute was inspired by these color organs of her time, and her life goals started becoming clear: to create kinetic systems of light that interact with music. She literally used the word kinetic to describe what she was envisioning in the 1920s, so low-key hipster points, I guess. Also highly inspiring to Bute at the time was the new school of abstract artwork, particularly Dada surrealist works from France, but also early animation films of the time, particularly those of Oskar Fischinger. During her come-up, she had the privilege to work alongside Leon Theremin, creating light shows accompanying his performances. Bute officially began her animation career working with Joseph Schillinger, who created an entirely mathematical visual approach to melodic and rhythmic elements. He wanted quasi-abstract animations to accompany and express his approach, and Bute was there for it. Through her work with Schillinger, she adopted his mathematical approach to visualizing sound, so much so that it influenced the majority body of her work. Mary Ellen Bute's first film was 1935's Rhythm and Light, a collaboration with set designer Melville Weber and cinematographer Ted Nemeth. Nemeth and Bute realized they needed to get married shortly after, so they did, and they remained lifelong collaborators. Nemeth was also an animator interested in pairing sound with visuals, and he assisted in producing both of their works and establishing themselves as their own independent distributors. Soon, Bute was producing and releasing her own works of animation, paired with a song where the animations reacted and moved to the audio. Universal purchased the rights to her works, and they began appearing on the newsreels common in 1930s cinema, and then going on to appear before films similar to the old Pixar shorts. To wrap this up, the rest is history. Her audio visualizations were common in popular media throughout the 1940s and 1950s. Many Americans grew up enjoying her films as normal aspects of the movie-going experience. However, due to her retirement in the early 60s, her films began getting replaced, and her work, much like Winamp, became a novelty of the past that many people probably forgot about or just never knew existed to begin with. The feminist movement of the 1970s brought attention to her work and career before her death in 1983, hailing her pioneering works in animation and making her visions a reality in kinetic visual accompaniments to music. Artist, animator, experimental filmmaker, director, producer, and mother of the audio visualizer, Mary Ellen Bute.